Okay. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm thrilled to welcome you to today's Future Career Community Call, proudly sponsored by Future Career. We are a growing community dedicated to helping professionals and job seekers across Canada and the US succeed by leveraging their strengths and exploring new opportunities. Whether it's through coaching, resources, or connecting like minded individuals, we are here to support your career journey. This call will be recorded and shared on social media. So if you don't want to be recorded, please leave the session now. So before we dive in, I'd like to introduce some of our expert coaches joining us today. Myself, Ahmed Zayed, a career coach with 15 years in IT experience and management, specialize in helping professionals land jobs and navigate career transitions. We have also Mahmoud Abu Nil, our coach Mo, another incredible career coach with years of expertise empowering professionals to reach their career goals, and Samer Al Qassas, a seasoned HR consultant who brings deep expertise in recruitment and organization development. Eleni Burrell, a talented recruiter and specialist in connecting candidates with top career opportunities. We are so excited to have our guest speaker tonight, Muhammad Sharaf, CEO and Chief Architect of Revolution Data Platforms, and a veteran with 25 years of experience in the software development and IT operations industry, including 18 years at Microsoft. He's here to share some powerful insights on and future, the present and future of data analytics and AI, charting the course forward. So, Muhammad will explore the current state of data analytics and AI, share trends shaping the future of the industry, and offer practical insights on how you can leverage these tools for your career or business. After this presentation, we'll have an interactive Q&A, so be sure to ask your questions. Without further ado, Muhammad, it's over to you. Thanks for having you.
Thank you, sir. All right, so before we start, some logistics here. I might not respect the time. You just give me a signal. I can see everyone who's sharing the video here in front of me. The presentation is this in this direction. So if I'm looking here, I'm just looking at the presentation. If you are asking questions, you can ask if you'd like on the chat. I will see them. I may choose to answer right away, or if it needs time, I will pause between the sections and I'll speak about it.
I'll help you moderate. Don't worry.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so present and future of data analytics and AI. Let's start with, oh, it's nothing. So that's a bio. If you are interested, you can scan it. You can link on LinkedIn. I'm not gonna waste your time on this. Keep it for a minute, but I want to ask you a question since you will get to know me. I want to know you as well. So you can use Teams interaction. So you can raise hand, for example, if you have any experience in data and AI, or if you're graduating from computer science or data analytics degree or something like this. Can you raise your hand? See chats. We have one. Good. I think the others are looking for where is the hand. Two. We found it. Okay, good. All right, let's continue. So before I go, so this is good representation, like percentage-wise of the team. But that makes me think of giving you first the history of this, how things became the way it is right now. I know that many of us, like I would say 70%, don't have the background in this field. So I will try to be as high level as I can. However, if you don't understand something, just raise your hand and ask me to explain it. Okay, we are a small group, so this is a good thing for the sake of the benefit of the team. Okay, you can put your hands down, by the way. So the history of the data analytics and AI, there was no much AI at the time. So I'm gonna start not far in the past. I'm gonna start with the 1990. until 2000. During these 10 years, this is where we had the vision of the data warehouse, the one central data warehouse that will be the place for everything related to our data. That was the vision. The big player in this vision with Teradata, IBM, Oracle, we had also the dawn of the term business intelligence. Now, you might say, well, this difference between business intelligence and data analytics, nothing. Honestly, nothing. Data analytics is a very generic term. Business intelligence is related to the last part of it, which is when the business people, like let's say Eleni, she is in HR, right? I got where you're working, so I'm gonna use you as an example. She is the one who will be interested in creating Excel sheets that has certain data and certain insights related to her business. Data engineers or anyone graduated from data accreditation will not be able to understand her business this way. So the merge or the interaction between the business and the data, this is where the BI is. And that's how it started in the 1990s. Relational databases, we had the booming of many relational databases, many backgrounds or theoretical ideas behind them. And we settled on the way that it is right now. And the biggest player in this market, SQL Server from Microsoft, Oracle, and we started to see the multidimensional cube as well. The ETL expression or methodology started to be familiar in the market, which is the extract, transform, load, which is the process that we are typically used to describe when we are getting the data from a source, do something with the data, and then load it into another source. So this ETL expression started to be very common in the workplace. Now, in the year 2000, started the expression of big data. Big data, the academic definition for it would be the data that is high in the three V's, the volume, the variety, and the velocity. Sometimes we have data that is not very large in the volume, but because they are coming as a stream of data, let's say few kilobytes or even few bytes, but they are coming 10 every 100 milliseconds. Because of this stream of data, this is a big data. And oh, by the way, there's a spelling mistake here. This is not big. There you go. So that's when the big data started, and the biggest impact on it was coming from out of any other place. It's coming from Yahoo, actually, because Yahoo had lots of web logs files that they need to analyze. At the time, having 100 megs file or few gigs file, this is very large to be loaded into one machine memory. So they needed to have a way to interact with these large files at the time using multiple machines. So they invented something called Hadoop, and the technique in the Hadoop technology is called MapReduce. And in this one, the idea is to have a file system that is distributed. So the file system is actually, it's like a hard drive. When I say file system, let me simplify things a little bit. When I say file system, think of it as a hard drive. But this hard drive, this volume that you see in your Windows or Mac machine is not based on one machine. It's actually based on 10 different machines. All these 10 machines, they are working together to present to you one big drive that you can put your file in. That's the biggest advantage. The second advantage is you can have multiple machines accessing this one single file that is distributed among all these machines, and they can read and do analytics on it at the same time. So that's the dawn of these things. Real-time analytics, I told you something about the streaming data. This is the data that is small, but many. So think of this. Many of us have now smartwatches. These smartwatches, they are collecting data about our biology, whatever the vital signs that are collecting, copied to phones, and these phones act as a workstation to send this data to a central place. So if we have, let's say, 1 million users for whatever product, these million users, they are sending data every 5 minutes, and this data is, let's say, 12 kilobytes. Okay, 12 kilobytes every 5 minutes sent from your phone into that central station. This is becoming very valuable because you can have this is a stream of data coming, and you can have some real-time analytics on it. I can say, for example, I don't know, that's a kind of extreme, but let's say Ottawa had an earthquake. What happened to the heart rate of the people in Ottawa in real time? I can see this in real time when something like this happening. The thing that started to happen as well between 2000 and 2010 is the invasive spread of the cloud computing. Cloud becomes everywhere, and cloud has something with big data and something with the big data analytics. And we'll see about this in the current trends. Because of this, lots of big data or lots of data analytics is moving to the cloud. Okay. Now I'm going to speak about the current trends where we are right now. So this is happening. This is not in the future. This is just happening as we speak. The first thing is data lakes are becoming more transactional. So that I need to speak about it for a little bit because there is a background here that is missing from people. Again, ask me or put questions if you have any questions. Data lake is a big drive that is a big hard drive that is filled with files. Big, like unlimited, doesn't have a limit. You can put terabytes and terabytes of data and nothing will fill it because it's managed in the cloud, and the cloud is expanding it forever. As long as you are paying, they will expand it for you. So this is the data lake. Now, for these data lakes to work, these are files. There is no transactions. So what's transaction? Transaction, this is a concept in the relational database. Remember the thing that started in the 1990s? So that's the relational database. Think of having a transaction in the bank. You are withdrawing from one account, you are inserting into another account. So you are updating a record and then update another record. These two actions, they have to be in one single transaction. If this transaction failed in one of the steps, it has to roll back. So if I'm taking data from 10 accounts and put it in one account, in the last step, if something failed, I have to roll back everything. That's the concept of transaction in relational databases. And the lakes did not have transactions, did not have transaction nature of things. But now that is becoming the norm, where you have a lake house, or typically we call a data lake now a lake house. That's a different story. I don't want to take much from your time for this, where we are using the data lake as if it's a database. So that's the first one. The second one, remember the vision of the 1990s of one central data warehouse? That's a fallacy. That doesn't happen. Never succeeded. I haven't seen it ever. So people started to be realistic finally after 30 years, and they decided to keep things as they are, but they will work on a mesh or on a distributed system of nodes. So instead of collecting everything into one place, I will keep few places, not so many. Every place is a node. And these nodes, we are exchanging the data between them. There are many data architectures, famous data architecture that are handling this, and that's beyond our focus for today. The third thing that's happening now, majority of the data analytics is in the cloud. Why? Because makes sense for a few reasons. The first one, data analytics requires lots of uh, funding at the beginning. You need to buy storage, you need to buy lots of machines before you even start doing anything. And this is a big capital investment for you. The cloud is giving you the economic model. You are paying as you grow your data. Don't worry, you will pay more eventually, but it's economic and it's agile. The second thing is the data warehouses, they have much less routes inside the on-premises networks or on-premises data centers than data warehouses. So to move a single database for, let's say, via rail booking in every station when you are buying a ticket at the station or online, this is a transaction. It's saved in a database. But there are so many systems connected to it. It's very hard to move this database to the cloud. But everything is collected every night into one data warehouse, and this data warehouse has all the data, all the transactions in Viral for the last 50 years. That's much easier. Yes, it's big, but it's much easier because it's not connected to so many systems. The roots of this is not big inside the data center. That's why the data analytics in the cloud is much easier to, or data analytics generally is much easier to migrate it to the cloud. Any questions so far?
All good so far?
Yeah. So data analytics trends, and this is for this year and 2017. So for the coming 3 years, how we see data analytics. The first one is SaaSified solutions. So SaaS is AAS, is software as a service. Think of your Gmail. Your Gmail is a type of SaaS solution. You don't set up anything in advance. You just put your credit card if you are buying it for your business, and you are getting a solution that is providing you with email, whether it's personal or business. The software that we are using right now, believe it or not, there was a big project plan and project budget to have a video conference solution, and that will be executed for like at least a year to have a working solution for video conference. Now, Teams, you have a credit card, you sign up for Teams, you have your own domain, you have everything as like similar to any big company. We are using the same solution of big corporations on a very, very small scale. So this is the SaaS. This is what a SaaS is. Now, the data analytics did not become SaaS until very recent. Actually, the first company that thought about this was Snowflake. I think that was 10 years ago or something. I don't quote me for when Snowflake started, but they started with this concept that they can have the data warehouse from the browser. You go to a website, you sign up, and you have a data warehouse. So they were the only ones doing it this way. It was mostly for small businesses, small and medium businesses. Until recently, that's becoming for the last, I would say, 2 years, and that's the future for all these solutions to become SaaS. Okay, that means the integration will not be between components. Lots of people, they learn to do something like Terraform and cloud infrastructure and stuff like this. That will be less and less important in the future. Okay. The second thing is generative AI. Every picture you see, by the way, in this presentation, I generated it. I did not have time to search. I just put the prompt, and all these are generated. So I do graphics as if I'm a professional in graphics. I can do some stuff as well in the generative AI, using generative AI in the data domain or the data analytics domain. That means there will not be any advantage for someone who can do Python programming, for example, and he can use Python in doing data analytics, because the GenAI tools can generate the code. You need to understand it, you need to update it, of course, but it does not require all the details that you needed to have before. That makes us think of the data human interfaces that is coming in the near future, where your database will have a human interface. You can chat with your data. You don't need to have Python skills or SQL skills. Well, unless you are working for the government. The government is a different story. But uh, you can just chat with your data, and we will have the tools to translate your language, your English language, into the query engine, and then get the data back, and you chat with your own data. So that will be normal in the very, very near future. The
Muhammad,
data.
if you don't mind, sorry, if you don't mind, I guess, some of the folks here may be interested, how to be a data analytic engineer or a consultant. Is that something, coming in the next few slides, or maybe do you want to jump to that?
I can like give me the questions. I'm happy to answer them.
Yeah.
So data analytics consultants, you cannot be a data analytics consultant, period.
Okay.
Consultant means you are consulting, you are giving advice. So you have to lose your hair in the process. Like you cannot be a fresh grad and doing consultancy. Just it's not realistic. Can you be a data engineer? Yes. Can you be a BI analyst, a data analyst, an analytics engineer, whatever? Yes. Like the market is booming, and this is a market that is very close to the business. So the difference between web developers, for example, and data analysts and analytics engineer is web developers, they are building websites. Um, the business does not need a specific website, but the business needs to have the data in front of them, at least an Excel sheet. So the ability to have analytics out of data, when you have an Excel sheet, can you find something in it? What can you tell about it? The challenge here is really Gen AI is disrupting the market. And one of the things that I'm expecting to be obsolete very, very soon, the role or the title of data scientist. So first of all, it didn't mean much to be data scientist, because like from the very beginning, what do you mean by data scientist? Like what? Okay. So data scientist used to be someone who can use programming language, simple, like nothing advanced, simple uh, distributed systems like Spark, programming language like Python and SQL. SQL is not programming, it's query language. So using these things to get some data transformation, get some data insights and visualization for your data. Okay, good. Now, all this can be easily generated. Then where to go? And I think this would be the question right now in the minds of the people. Well, try to be this domain-specific analytics specialist. HR. We are doing, for example, in my company, we're helping one of our customers for their HR systems. So we are pulling data from HR system, understanding all the business metrics of HR. This is very important. That will be the differentiator between someone who can be beneficial for the employer or the customer, and someone who's just doing something that can be replaced by AI. You need to focus on a domain. You have the data skills, you graduated from somewhere and you know the basics of it. Then you focus on something and start using the tools for it. The tools are still the same, the basics are still the same, but you must have a tool or two at least that is using that are AI tools. The AI will not replace you, not now. The AI will be used by someone who will replace you for sure. If I have a task that needs 10 people, this task can be done by 2 or 3 people easily. Like I would have someone to find me some graphics and stuff like this. I don't need that.
So Muhammad,
I can.
maybe if you don't mind, maybe, sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt you, again, just to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
to help, the folks here to know, for example, if I'm a software developer out of college and I want to transition to be a data engineer, what should I do? And again, I'll maybe invite Eleni and Samer and Coach Mo to chime in here and maybe share some of the questions that they have in mind too.
Sure. So, what do you need? You need to have practical experience. Find a data set on the internet. There are many places where you can find these data sets like Kaggle and others. Take
Stock market maybe.
anything, like any data about anything, health data. Uh, there is very interesting data set, by the way, in the World Bank about how many hospital beds per thousand people in different countries. Get it out. Try to have some like analytics and see. In Canada, for example, are we adding more beds or we are losing beds? Interesting thing, for example, when I looked at this data set in 1970, we had 7.45 beds per thousand people. And I think in 2019, this number dropped to three something. So try to get some data sets, do insights, have hands-on experience. One of the things that many employers are doing is to give you a mini project. Take this, stay for 2 or 3 days at home, work on it, show me what you get. Show me how can you get something out of it. Use whatever tool you have and then show me something. That is a very common practice now. The tools, the classical ones, Python, SQL, some products, whatever products in whatever cloud, if it's cloud or even on-prem. And with it, have the practice of using AI. I think I have more questions. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I think maybe if Eleni can chime in and Samer and tell us, what are the requirements that you normally get for data analytics or data engineers, based on what you saw in the past few months or so.
Yeah, I strictly do go to market. So unfortunately, I'm not too savvy on the tech side the last few years, but I definitely can echo the fact that practical experience is the most important. As a recruiter, when I'm screening any candidates or I'm interviewing them, we would rather have somebody that's done a little bit of the job or at least has done a co-op or some sort of like volunteer work or anything that just shows you have some hands-on experience versus somebody with like a 4.0 GPA. While getting good grades is really important, especially again, if you want to get into some top companies, it's really that practical experience and that hands-on that most recruiters are looking for. And it's for the simple fact of companies want people that can add value as soon as possible. And somebody coming right out of school, a lot of the times they might not have that practical work experience. So yeah, definitely any hands-on experience you can get would be the best.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Eleni. Samer or Coach Mo, do you have any other inputs here from your point of view? And Coach Mo, if you're speaking, you're mute. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll ask Muhammad take the example of the specific domain analytics he talked about HR. So if I have HR business expertise and now I want to spend like 5-6 years in that area and I want to switch to be an IT guy or technology guy and I want to move to HR analytics as an HR analytics specialist, how do I do this move? What do I need to get extra? I have the business domain knowledge. What tools do I put my hand on and train?
It's a very good one, and I'm gonna use an example I see actually right now with one of our customers. If you are in a business already, let's say HR business, and you would like to do something with the data, then you need to focus on the BI tools. BI tools are the tools that are used by the business users, but still data analytics. Some of these tools, I'm going to mention them and you will see there is a common theme. So Power BI from Microsoft, Tableau from Tableau, I think acquired by Salesforce now. These are two products that you can easily acquire knowledge in, and you can start using them right now. That will allow you to build a model, the data model, they call it semantic model, where I have some data into an Excel sheet, on some data into a relational database for my company, whatever the company is, and I can get them together and start merging them to create tables and relationships, and that is called the semantic model, and then I can do visualization for it. You can think of it as like Excel but on steroids. Like I can do a lot more with my knowledge, because here your knowledge in HR is irreplaceable. We cannot replace it. When we do consultation for a customer, our people, they know data very well. They can deal with the data, but they don't understand what does it mean of like what's the case when we are hiring someone and then he leaves for few months, like left the company, and then after 6 months he rejoined again. So what happened with his status, with his whatever? That's unknown question to us. Like, we don't have an answer for this. But with your knowledge, you can do this. So everyone from a background, like I know people with chemical engineering background. Then okay, what can we do with this with the data? Okay, I see a question here from Jeffrey. I will go through it quickly, and Jeffrey, feel free to unmute yourself and speak up. Walaikum salam. Out in the market. So yes, work with Power BI, Power Query. Power Query is part of Power BI, so it's still the same Power BI. You would like to learn SQL, Python. Yes, so SQL, Python, and a tool like Power BI should be a good start to go to start with. Further getting back into a role, happy to hear your thoughts. Okay, I'm trying to catch, where is the question exactly?
Jeffrey, do you want to unmute and maybe ask the question?
Is your question is like, is it worth it because the market is like kind of a tough market?
Oh, hi, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, so that's the concern that I have, the saturation of the market. I'm seeing a lot of posts on Reddit. I'm hearing from a friend saying they have to apply to 150 different jobs and only get to hear back from, like 10 or 20 for the same role. And data analytics is something so popular nowadays. It used to be something really good to get into a couple of years ago, which I got into at the same time. But now it's just more, I feel like I'm in competition with a lot of those who are in college now, are just graduating from college. And I feel like we're basically on par. So, it's like, how would you treat that? And I mean, I see your background, Mohammed. I see your background. You really rose to the ladder. And that's a path I'd like to consider. But, starting from where I am, I'm kind of like starting all over again, kind of. So,
You don't have to give me an answer, but I'm going to ask you a question. Like, keep the answer in your mind. Do you have a company that you would like to work for in your mind? Just yes or no. Do you have a company? It doesn't have to. You don't have to mention the company name. Just a company that you would like to work for. If that's the yes, if the answer is yes, then send them to work for free, volunteering. Re-entering the market or starting, like either you left the market for some time or you are fresh grad. I deal with fresh grads all the time. I love them, but the problem is there is no practical knowledge. Like, how can I hire a fresh grad without any knowledge? Then I have to spend 6 months to a year until I start getting my investment. That is not available for every shop, especially in this market. So try to put yourself in a situation where you are using something. Work for free, volunteer. Like you are already like living. Okay, so if you don't have an opportunity right now, volunteer for something.
I think, Mohammed, if you don't mind, maybe we can help him here, myself and Coach Mo and Eleni, about, how to handle the current market. Because, again, finding jobs today is is tougher than before, and because mostly that people don't know what they don't know, and there is a lot of complexity today on the process, and the hiring, and everything else. So I'll maybe let Eleni or Coach Mo chime in here for the process, or and then maybe Samer as well, and can give you a little bit of break, Muhammad, from speaking, and
Yeah, here you go.
come back
Here
to
you
you
go.
in
You have
in
it.
the data analytics questions related.
All right.
Go ahead, Mo, if you wanna chime in here, and then maybe Samer
Let's
can.
go, Irene. Ladies first.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Eleni.
So I don't know if everyone on this call knows, but I actually was impacted by a RIF in my last company, which means we did a 30% layoff. So right now, I myself am trying to navigate the job market, and crazy time. Like, I was laid off again in 2021 or 2020, and I had 31 interviews over 19 days. Like, I couldn't even fit the interviews. Now it is like pulling teeth. Ahmed knows I have an amazing network. I'm Canadian. I have, again, Canadian experience and US, and all of the opportunities that I've had, that I've seen any type of fruition come from, have been through my network. So I would say, if you're a new grad, reach out to your professors, reach out to other people in your class. Look at companies maybe in your local area that, again, like Mohammed said, volunteer, work for free, go to kind of like career networking events, whatever you can do to get your name out there and build your network. Because again, let's say I've applied to 50 jobs, I've heard back on maybe 4 or 5 of them. And that is somebody that has pure Canadian experience for the exact roles, customizing job descriptions and resumes and everything of that nature. So in this market, your best bet is have a strong resume, have a strong network, and don't be scared to reach out to people on tools like LinkedIn. If you do see a job that you want to apply for, don't just apply for the job. Go connect with the CEO, connect with the hiring manager if you can find that person, anyone on the recruiting team. I know in my previous roles, people would reach out to me and just say, "Hi, Eleni, my name is XYZ. I'm interested in this customer success role, this data engineer role, this marketing role. I just wanted to kind of get my resume in front of you." And even though, let's say 9 times out of 10, they might have not been qualified, just because they took the time to send that LinkedIn message with their resume or CV attached to it, I naturally, I won't say a good recruiter, but as a passionate recruiter, will take a look at that resume, and you would be surprised. Like, I have had people just direct outreach, and we've ended up hiring them. So it's getting out of your comfort zone and not being scared to ask for favors or a referral or a recommendation, because a lot of people, again, myself included, your pride and ego kind of take over, and you think, I want to do this on my own. But again, the reason that we have these calls and we have these kind of communities is to kind of lean on them. So I would definitely say expand your network as much as possible. Hope that can help.
Thank you, Eleni. Coach Mo or Samer, do you wanna chime in?
Sure. I'll just I want to speak about something. You'll find me always, like Jeffrey and others, we're talking about the mindset by which you approach the market. So I'll just give an example. If you're standing in front of your home door, but you don't have the right key to open, you don't sit there bashing the door. You just look for the key that opens the door, right? Okay. So I hear a lot of things about the market is tough, the market is tough, the market is tough. And that in itself, that statements bring a tight mentality to the market. So you're likely to give up early if you're in that space. Let's say that the market is the market. It just is, right? Like, let's not label it tough, but it has a key. The dynamics of the market change over 2 to 3 years, and that key and access code to the market that used to work 3 years ago no longer works today. Okay, so to be spot on with what you shared, Jeffrey, on the chat, you said you were doing trading, I believe. I heard that, and then you had tools already that you worked with in BI, and then I heard you say competing with fresh graduates. So with fresh graduates, you don't compete with them for the simple reason that they have no expertise and you have some expertise in some area for a number of years. So instead of going generic with data analytics, leverage that area that you have expertise. So if you have expertise in trading, and if that is like stocks and crypto and all this stuff, then use go into that part of analytics that are using the data for trading and crypto and all this stuff. There's massive amount of data over there, and people are using it all the time to predict stuff and trends and all these things. So you can get closer to this one, and then you can leverage that, but then don't rely solely on applying online, because when you apply solely online, people relate to you that the piece of paper that you're sending them, right? Try to connect with, as Muhammad initially said, you have a company. I ask people to make a list of 20 companies that they would love to work with for, and 15 companies that they don't mind working for, because they will use the second list, I call it the B type, to practice their interviews first and use them as a playground before applying to the A type companies, so they don't burn themselves out with the companies they love to work for, right? So we're talking about now list of 2015. You have 35 companies that you can make a list of, and go find the people that work in this company that are prospect hiring managers. Like, they would be the ones that would typically hire you. So their position could be director, could be VP, could be senior manager. Connect with them on LinkedIn and have a good proposition to have with them. 10-15 minutes conversation. Don't say at the beginning you're looking for a job, they will turn their back and run away, right? Try to get a relationship first. They know you, they talk to you, they sense in a verbal conversation that you have something to offer, you're passionate about that field, you have expertise in a particular domain, and then you're talking together as experts, and they happen to need help. So they would be the ones that come and say, so Jeffrey, what are you doing? And then say, well, I would love to enter the field of blah blah blah. They'll say, well, we have an opening, why don't you come and apply? So they're the ones pulling versus you pushing, because nobody likes to be pushed on, and they get pushed on from so many people in the market. So it's very easy to just ghost you and skip the conversation if they don't have anything or they don't see anything for themselves. You clearly know what you want for yourself, but they don't know why you're approaching them. And if you say job straight, they'll just, I don't know you, I'm gonna skip. I hope that makes a difference.
Yeah, no, thanks, Coach Mo. This is a big wisdom. Samer, do you want to chime in?
Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed. I am Samer. I'm graduated Human Resources Master degree in Training and Human Resources Management from UK, with 18 years of experience in human resources and employment. I would like to start by thanking Mr. Mohammed Sharaf for the very nice presentation. I have learned a lot from you, and I'm trying to formulate now my response to the gentleman based on what I have learned from Mr. Mohammed. So it's all your mistake, guys. You have done bad for the market, for the job market, by creating a lot of technology, a lot of tools, AI, and you made things very easy. You flooded the market with applications. Data, big data is there. And for me, when I go for a job site to apply for a job, and then I find one job being applied by 27,000 candidates, I will say it's impossible. I will not even waste my time to apply. The supply is much more than the demand. But how real is this number? So that's the other question. It's become very easy. In the past, when it was dial-up internet, I was spending one day to apply for one job. My dad was always saying, hang up the phone, don't use the internet. Okay. Today, while I'm in the transportation bus, people can apply for 10 jobs. That's creating a big data. Now, HR also is struggling. They are unable to handle all this big number of applications. So they are more depending on ATS systems. The trick now, as Coach Mo said, is the right key. Have a right resume that will stand up and stand out among all the application in the ATS system, how to optimize it. And I will emphasize again, resume is still a manual job. It cannot be created by ChatGPT. We are having now 1,000 copies of same resumes received by every HR person. And that's annoying, really. It's like, keep your resume as a manual job. If you are unable to write it, and it's not an easy thing to put all your life and experience in 1 or 2 pages. It's a difficult job, and it's something need and expertise to be written. Refer to a coach, ask for help, make someone help you to write your resume, and then your resume will again stand up and start getting opportunities. But if you go to ChatGPT and say, make me a resume, and you start using this master key, if I say, to open other doors, and it doesn't work, don't blame ChatGPT, but blame yourself. It's a manual job. I myself, when I help someone to fix their resume, I spend like 3 to 4 hours going word by word, sentence by sentence, and it is still a manual job. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Samar. Really amazing wisdom. Okay, awesome. So I guess we have like 13 minutes for any other questions, and maybe Muhammad, I know you have lots of wisdom to share with us. We didn't really give you enough time, but feel free to use the remaining minutes to give us some more wisdom again about data analytics, world and jobs, and how people should prepare for that from a technical point of view. Again, let's focus on the technical point of view. What courses, what certifications, what platforms should I use to practice at home? If that's can be something that you can give those wisdom in the few minutes, that would be amazing, please.
Actually, I do have a question, not a wisdom. So, and this is following up the comment from Mo. Let's say I'm pushing. I'm emailing Mo. Mo, you are a manager in the company. This is the company I want to work for. I'm emailing you every 2 weeks. Tell me, in your experience, how many people eventually yield an answer? Like percentage-wise. Am I doomed? Like if I'm keeping persistent, I'm emailing you every 2-3 weeks.
Personally, if I get 3 messages, I'm responding. Like I have to. I can't just ignore somebody. If you've spent 1, 2, the third, even if it's just like a no, we're not interested, or whether it's someone trying to solicit a product or it's a candidate, I will respond after 3 times, because it's just this person has clearly put effort into reaching out and formulating some message. But I don't know the exact percentage. I can only speak from a recruiter's lens.
Okay. Samar.
Thank you,
Would you
Mr.
answer?
Muhammad. Yeah, I would acknowledge how Elena is nice, because I am the nasty HR. I would screen them out and close their file, and that's it. Because a person who's sending lots of emails is creating a record against HR that they are constantly following up and not getting job. And these people, they might create grievance, they might go to parliament member or something with lots of records, and then parliament members or whoever will come to HR and say, why you are not actioning this file? Then we will be in trouble. I'm trying to reflect the perspective of HR, and HR person is another employee who care about his KPI and his job. And if he starts receiving records that might put him in trouble, then the easiest way, let me close this file. I can, with my ability, I can screen out this file and close it. And I know in the future, after 1 or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, if this potential candidate can create a value for one of my jobs, I can pick up the phone and say, look, we have studied your file again. We are on a secondary consideration. We would like to invite you for an interview. He won't say no. So he will remain available for me, but I have stopped an annoying emails coming to me. I advise people, to follow up, remain nice, don't create record that scare HR, and maybe use other tools. LinkedIn is a beautiful platform to create informal communication and keep in touch with your recruiters.
Makes sense.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just want
it really depends. It really depends, Muhammad, about who's on the other side, which you would never know how they're going to react. You can know about yourself, but you don't know about the other party enough to check how they react. They can react nicely and peacefully, and they can act nasty. They can just ghost you. But again, I am all about the quality by which you approach people. Like, what are you writing in this message that is compelling for them to answer you? Are you telling them, what are you telling them in this message? You want what? I want a job, or I applied for your job and I'm just following up, or what exactly goes in the message? So I'm focusing on the how and the quality of the conversation rather than the quantity.
No, I agree. And I just wanted to clarify on my end, 90% of my outreach, like people reaching out to me, is on LinkedIn. It's not email. So I just want to clarify that it wasn't like a bunch of emails.
I meant LinkedIn as well, because I'm getting lots of emails of like different services, companies offshore, they are providing resources. I ignore them, of course, like everyone else. And then eventually, if they are keep persisting, I have to answer. Like I feel bad if I'm not answering. I just answered one right now. Thank you. I don't need this, just like that. But I think the message, if that's the majority, that eventually people will answer.
Yeah, awesome. So, Muhammad, I think, there is a question for you since you are a CEO of a company and you're now a hiring manager too. So, again, some folks think they should be experts in their domain to be able to start, submitting applications. And sometimes, they are not there yet, and the confidence is low. So, as a hiring manager, how do you evaluate, candidates in the data analytics, for example? Like, what would make you comfortable hiring those people, in your company, for example?
Okay. Give them something to work on. Watch them working. If you have 3 minutes quickly, the story that something happened with currently one of my employees, how I get to know him, I asked for someone who knows Oracle. I need to do something specific to Oracle. He was referred to me by someone, like a mutual friend. I looked at him and like, he's young. He cannot have Oracle. Oracle is already sunsetting now, so he doesn't have Oracle experience, like hands-on for years. So I asked him, how did you prepare for this task? He said, well, I know that you want this. I installed Oracle on my machine. I try to do exactly what I'm expecting you to ask me for. Okay, then I would like you to work on this problem, but I will watch you. I cannot leave you alone. I will watch you in a Teams meeting. You share your screen. I will keep watching you all the time. Don't worry, I'm not gonna judge or anything. You just do your own thing. After 2-3 hours, it became complicated and he found lots of challenges. Then I told him, I'm not gonna give up on you until you give up on yourself. You decide. Whenever you want to give up, you will give up. He stayed for 11 hours. One single Teams meeting trying to solve this problem for 11 hours. And he was like one of my best people now.
That's a real long interview, life, and with value. So, but again,
well, that was paid job. Like that was a small thing that I want, and I would pay for it. He wasn't hired the second day. That wasn't an interview, but I saw him working. I saw how he's relentless. He will not give up.
Yeah. No, again, the wisdom here that you're saying, Muhammad, is, you can create your own job by things like, that story that Muhammad just shared. You can help people, through your knowledge, whatever that is right now, to create your own job. You don't know who's gonna hire you next. That person that Muhammad is speaking about, I'm sure he was not really thinking to be hired by Muhammad, but that work and that persistence, that attitude that Muhammad saw in him made Muhammad feel like, that's a person that I want him to work with me. So again, I'll maybe let Coach Mo, Eleni, Samer give some feedback before we close and get the selfie, and let everybody enjoy the rest of the Wednesday. Coach Mo, you have any comments?
No, I mean, like if we're closing in the 5 minutes, I don't know how many people have questions, but there's a practice we do with Coach Ahmed on the call is I have an online course that helps people find jobs faster. It's called the Breakthrough Job Hunt, the crash course. It's only 1 hour, so I typically share it with here. I have it in Udemy for $38. The Canadian, it's here discounted to 25. So I don't know how many people on the call are actually active seekers for jobs that this would make a difference for. I'll just drop it in the chat.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Coach Mo. So guys, benefit from this course. That's definitely great, value for free for you. So definitely, enjoy that course. Eleni, any final words you wanna share with people just as a wisdom here?
Yeah, definitely don't keep trying. I think I was talking to my mom earlier today of just like discouragement and the fact that, again, being in HR right now with so many companies doing layoffs and a lot of them doing hiring freezes, I can 100% again attest to Coach Mo of like go in with a positive mindset, and every closed door, like something is going to come along. It's just about making a plan, making sure not only do you live within your means, you have a budget, you have a great kind of network of people that are going to keep you in good spirits and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, this is the reality of kind of what the market is, and it might never change. It might change again, but we just have to kind of adapt to what is happening right now. But again, I always say use your network, use the people on this call. If anyone needs any help or resume review or anything of that nature, I know Ahmed's happy to help, and I definitely am as well. And I'm sure Coach Mo and the other coaches as well. So yeah, good luck to everybody, and I'll be rooting for everyone.
Thank you, Eleni. Samer, any final words?
Thank you, Mr. Ahmed. It's an amazing session today. So I would like to remind job seekers that HR don't select the best candidate sometimes, but they remove the candidate who have mistakes. Try to keep your resume perfect. Your way of applying is perfect. Even one mistake, and when HR is looking, when they find something, they remove. When they have missing experience, they remove until they find someone in the list who look like a best fit for the job, and they put these people. So excluding mentality is how HR is acting most of the time. Try to fulfill all. So people are getting jobs because they do most of the thing correct, and they lose job for one reason.
Oh, that's amazing.
Samer, I wanna comment on this thing. Just Ahmed, one quick thing, because Samer works in HR and Eleni worked in HR. Let's say you have a job posted online and you have like 500 resumes, and you're starting to analyze this resume to recommend something to a manager, and all of a sudden the hiring manager tell you, a friend of mine just referred somebody to me, so take the resume of this guy and check if it's good, do for with them the cultural fit or something like that. And then I've already done the technical interview and I think they're great. How likely they are to that person take the job, and the 2,500 people are canceled out?
Very high possibility, I will say. I've, with founders, with hiring managers, CEOs, I've gone to battle with them about it doesn't matter if somebody's likable. We need the best person. And a lot of the times referrals tend to sneak their way in there. And there have been times where I've voted against hiring a referral. We've ended up having to let them go 6 months, 7 months down the line. So you really want to make sure, again, obviously it's different from the stance that everyone else is in, but from my stance, I put it on the hiring manager. If this doesn't work out, your team is not going to respect you the same way. The company is going to feel that we don't have the best people in its space. And if it really is a role that, let's say, is not a mandatory to fill, I'll suggest let's do contract to permanent. Like, why are we going to put all the risk on bringing a permanent employee in? That's a referral that we might know work out, might not work. But I always say, if you're a recruiter with dignity, you will fight for the best candidate, not the one that has the best relationship with the manager. Because when it comes down to it, we need people that are going to add value, and likability is great, but we need people that are going to get stuff done.
And practically speaking, how many animosities are you going to create with directors because you're pushing back on them?
Sorry, say that again.
Realistically speaking, how many animosities are you willing to create in your job with 3-4 directors across the organization because you keep pushing back your way?
I might be the crazy one, but I do it all the time. Yeah, there
exactly, and a lot of people don't, right?
Yeah, most recruiters would just overlook it and say, okay, if this is what the hiring manager says, or that you know what's best. I also do think it does matter what size of company you're looking to join. If it's, let's say, 200 employees or less, that's normally counted as a startup. We need people that are going to, excuse my language, get shit done right away. If it's a bigger company and it's a referral, most of the time they'll take the referral because they have other resources and other people that, God forbid something happens, it's not one technical engineer, one data scientist, one account executive. they have multiple. But no, Coach Mo, you're right. Not many.
I just wanted to say that to highlight the deficiency in the online applications, that everybody is using it as 90% of their job search.
Yeah, that's why I say the referral is the best way. And if you know someone at a company, that's the easiest way to get in.
Awesome, amazing. This is a very, very nice discussion, and I love the the kind of back and forth and different perspectives here that you would enrich the discussion. So thank you so much, Samer. I know you have final thought. Let's just take the selfie and then maybe back to you, Samer, so that maybe if anyone wants to drop, then they can drop. So guys, if you're ready, we can take the selfie. I'll put together mood. So it's your time to become a celebrity for the call today. So don't be shy. This is one of the way that you do networking with everybody outside of your world. So if you want to join, it's your time now. I'll give a few seconds here for folks who are shy or want to do their hairstyle maybe. Okay, so when you're ready, 1, 2, 3, and smile. Awesome. That was amazing. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining the call. Thank you, Coach Mo. Thanks, Lenny. Thanks, Tamer. And of course, thank you so much, Muhammad Sharaf, for this. This was amazing. And we definitely enjoyed, your wisdom and your insights. Tamer, please go ahead and share your thought.
Yeah, thank you very much. There's nothing too much to add on top of what Elaine said. She addressed it very well, putting it on the manager. It's a service providing. Yeah. If they do wrong, it's on them at the end. Yeah, we're trying to help.
Thank you so much. Okay, cool. So guys, we're gonna be doing guest speakers every Wednesday, and we'll keep the Sundays only for Q&A. So if you know a specific topic that you want to listen in the next few sessions, just share those topics with us, and I'll be happy to see who can come and deliver those topics specifically for you. So again, thanks everybody for showing up. Thank you. I wanted to be part of the set, but my camera is not helping. Okay, no worries. Next time. Thank you so much, Eleni. Thanks, Sharaf. Thanks, Coach Mo. Thanks, Samer. Thanks,
You're
everybody.
welcome. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Nice to meet you, Muhammad and Elena.